Open public session.
Some of.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Motion carries. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll begin with our residents' comments. We have two that signed up. When I call your name, please come forward and state your name and address, and please keep comments to about 3 minutes. First, we have Gina Fenzel.
My name and address,
Sure.
Gina Fenzel, 2385 Valley Road, Niagara Falls, 14304. I am here today. I'm the president of the Booster Club for the JV varsity cheerleading team. I have a little something I would like to read because I'm not a great public speaker. And then currently, our athletes are wearing outdated and worn uniforms that no longer meet the standard expected for school representation, especially for competition where presentation and appearance play a significant role in scoring and overall team perception. Unfortunately, this has become a point of judgment at events, which directly affects the team's competitive standing. The athletic department has generously allocated $2,000 towards the purchase of new uniforms. However, this amount only allows us to purchase 20 uniforms to properly outfit the entire team and maintain consistency in our presentation at competitions. We need 30 uniforms. While we have fundraising funds available to us, using them entirely for uniforms would severely limit our ability to support other essential expenses throughout our seasons. As cheerleading is officially now recognized as a sport, our team is required to attend at least 4 competitions a year in order to qualify for the mandatory league competitions and sectionals. These are not optional activities as they are integral to our program. Ensuring the team is properly outfitted is not only a matter of pride to our girls, but also one of compliance and fairness to our athletes. We respectfully ask that the board consider allocating additional funding to help cover the remaining cost of 10 uniforms. This support would allow us to maintain the integrity of our cheer program without exhausting the resources of our athletes and families that have worked very hard to raise. The athletic director has agreed to funding $2,000 for us. He said that that is all that is allowed from the athletic department for the year. We do have money to cover, like I said, 20 uniforms between that and what we have fundraised over the last 2 years. We do know that other schools are allowed more money per uniform. We're not really understanding what the difference is between other schools and our Glee Field, or, you know, where the lapse is. I did bring several uniforms, if you guys wouldn't mind me showing them to you.
Sure.
To show you kind of what shape they're in. I don't know if you guys can see the stains all over the skirts. Yeah, she's pretty old. Ripped. I mean, we've had to sew so many uniforms. They're just torn and stained. We've had several uniforms that several years ago, when my daughter was in 9th grade, so 4 years ago, I know one of the storage spaces, the roof had collapsed. They had gotten wet, so uniforms were automatically thrown away without us knowing about it. Uniforms were moldy. We've had to, how many times, scrub mold off the uniforms, sew uniforms. It's just, it's gotten pretty bad. And it does affect when our girls are required, like I said, to compete in competitions. They get judged on their appearance and they go out there and these old, like, coaches come up and say stuff, and other athletic directors will come up and make comments, and they lose points because of how poorly their uniforms look. So yeah, and smell. And the girls don't even want to wear them to school. I mean, when I went to school, you know, we didn't have the best uniforms, but, you know, you put that uniform on, you're proud every Friday, you know. every, whatever, basketball games, football games, like, the girls are just ashamed, they don't even wanna wear them anymore, so. We're
Okay.
asking, what can we do? Is there anything you guys can do? Is there anything you guys can look into for us?
Have you reached out to the superintendent already?
No,
Okay,
we have not.
I've asked that you,
We met
you,
with the athletic director.
I see.
This
can
was our
answer
first
for
step.
them. Just so you're aware, uniforms are budgeted every year in the athletic director's budget. And there is a cycle of replacement for all the different sports.
Yes.
Due to the number of sports, that's probably the reason why it hasn't come up yet, but if it's coming up, I mean, he does have a limited amount that he can spend, so.
So we're kind of at a loss then, is what you're saying, basically.
Probably for next year, I mean, I will talk to him about the following year. It has to probably be budgeted more. That line would have to have a higher budget, but because the budget's already passed for next year,
Mhm.
he's limited on how much he can spend.
Yeah, and
For the year.
he's very kind. He's told us he's all in favor, because we hosted a competition here and, you know, he was here and he did get to see the girls out there compared to the other schools. You know, what we look like out there appearance wise compared to the other schools, you know, and the difference is just night and day and, you know,
So are we saying we're short of about $1,000? Is that what the numbers, 10 more uniforms?
for 20 uniforms, I believe it was $6,000. So we can get 2,000 from the athletic director and we have about the rest in fundraising, but it would drain our fundraising account, which means we would have to cancel our cheer camps that we have planned for the girls this year and, you know, any extra things that we were trying to do to better our program. So, I mean, we'd be willing to do it, but we would only be able to purchase, like we said, 20 uniforms. Then that limits you on how many girls you're able to take on the team because you only have X amount of uniforms. So some girls may get cut because of it. So it's just kind of, you know, one of those things.
And how often do you have to replace them?
If you buy good quality uniforms,
Is that what you're buying?
yes, those, I mean, people recognize those are very old uniforms,
Yeah.
those right there. I mean, they've stood the test of time. I know there were some uniforms that were not, they were very low budget purchase uniforms and those, I mean, are completely see-through at this point and they're very much newer than those ones. I believe the last set was purchased, I want to say 2018, 2019. They do have a gold glitter effect to them and it is fading with time. Those are starting to come apart at the stitches. So if you invest the money in a better quality uniform, then you can get the years and the usage out of them.
Well, you've already gotten 5 or 7 years out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. That's all I have. So
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for your time.
Next we have Danielle Muni.
Danielle Mooney, 2639 Pine Lake Drive, Niagara Falls, 14304. Good evening. My name is Danielle Mooney. I am here tonight speaking on behalf of myself, my husband Craig, and our son Zachary Mooney. Craig and I have previously met with Mr. Lewanich and Mr. Stapp, so I'm very sure you are aware of our situation. However, I felt it's important that I speak personally, not just on behalf of our efforts, but from my own heart and share who Joey Mooney, truly was. I thank you for this opportunity. Our son and brother Joey Mooney was a 2023 graduate of Niagara Wakefield High School. We tragically, very unexpectedly, and without signs, lost Joey to suicide just over a year ago. Joey wasn't just a name or a statistic. Joey was a son, a brother, a friend. He was a multi-sport athlete. He was the life of the party in a good way, as his friends would always say. He lit up a room. He brought energy, laughter, and kindness wherever he went. He was the flyer as a cheerleader for the senior powder puff game. He was the Falcon mascot during a Niagara Wakefield football game. He was known for his passion for exotic cars. He was well known as Snipes Legit to over 100,000 followers on Instagram that admired his creative hockey stick handling videos and trick shot videos. He had a job and a great work ethic from the day he turned 16. He had dreams and aspirations. This probably sounds like many teenagers that we all know. My point is, suicide doesn't always look like what we think it does. It doesn't have a face. It can live behind a smile and in someone who appears strong, happy, and full of life. Joey was that person. That is why education, raising awareness, and working to end the stigma around mental health is urgent and necessary. Never did the thought cross our minds that this would be our reality, and I'm sure most parents think that this won't happen to them. The reality is this didn't start with Joey, and sadly, it will not end with Joey. Our mission now is to turn our heartbreak into action so that we can potentially save lives and save other families from having to endure the pain we live with on a daily basis. We are passionate about education, about raising awareness, and about ending the stigma associated with mental illness, all while deservingly keeping Joey's memory alive. With that being said, it was brought to my attention today and through an email that there is already action being taken behind the scenes to educate staff and students and promote awareness, starting with this upcoming school year, as well as consideration being given to make changes to the current school policy regarding scholarship opportunities. For that, we thank you and are very appreciative. And we would also like to offer our support in any way that you may find helpful. Our efforts are not just to educate, raise awareness, or to keep Joey's memory alive, but also to support students whose futures could be shaped by the opportunity to honor him through a scholarship focusing on mental health education, not on the event. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you on my family's behalf and for your efforts toward change. Together, I know that we can make a positive change and we can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, was there anyone else to speak tonight? Okay, I'll close the comments. Moving on to our consensus agenda items. Call for a motion to accept consensus agenda items 1 through 8 as presented. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nothing was
Abstained?
separate.
Motion carried. Okay. Now on to the personnel items listed. A call for a motion to accept personnel items 1 through 15 as presented. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Moving on now to standing committees. Capital Projects Committee, is there any updates? Okay. Also item from the Policy Committee, the second reading and the adoption of 3 policies. Policy number 7513, medication and personal care items. Policy 7521, students with life-threatening conditions and anaphylaxis. And policy 5687, the maximum temperature for school buildings and indoor facilities. We had the first reading and this is the second reading. So I'll call for a motion to adopt those 3 policies as presented.
So, second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. No ex officio report tonight, president's report. I don't have anything other than congratulations to everyone on a year that's now in the books or about to be in the books. We got graduation next Thursday and looking forward to all of that and the festivities. And for superintendent's report, I'll pass to Allison.
Yep, so tickets, which I'm assuming he's talking about, the graduation tickets, he's gonna drop them off to you, so you'll have those. The graduation parade is June 21st at 10 a.m. And then graduation itself is June 26th at 6 p.m. We have our reorg meeting scheduled for July 2nd at 5:00 p.m. at the ALC. And that's all he had.
Thank you for the report.
Mhm.
There are no other reports. Any other items for board discussion? Old business, new business? Any other public comments tonight? Any board member comments?
Yeah, I'd like to start off by talking about Miss Julie over here.
Mhm.
You know, she's been on the board several years. Me and her have had some battles over the years, but it's really not.
Are you gonna air our business out?
No, no, but she always did what was best for the staff and the students, and she's really active inside the schools. That's something many people don't know. And I know she struggled with, as much as she enjoyed, struggled with should she run, and then for whatever reason, she decided not to. But I just want to thank you for the years of doing what we did, volunteering. And it was a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for sure.
Yeah, I started with Julie 9 years ago and we ran together. And we talked and I said, boy, she's on the same page as me. And she's really done an unbelievable job. Like Rick said, there's a lot of things you don't see that she does, not only for the students, but for the board. She's done a lot for us as well. And I really appreciate all the effort you gave. And it was a pleasure working with you for these
Thank
9 years.
Pleasure. You're not gonna, I'll be around, don't worry.
Oh, I know
In one
that.
way or
I know
another.
that.
Yep.
You won't be sitting here though.
Thank you, thank you.
Anybody else? Julie, your final
Really
speech?
wanna say-
Yeah.
No, it's been a great 9 years. I'm really proud and I feel very privileged to have been, kind of voted into the seat for the last 3 terms and we had a lot of work that we did and we've accomplished a lot and the campus, I mean, everything is just so much nicer. Cause I started when things were really still on the upswing financially. So to see where we are now compared to where we were in 2016 is just, light years away. So yeah, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, with that, Julie, would you like to make a motion to end the meeting?
Absolutely. I'll make the
So moved.
motion.
Second? We've moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.